Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagatgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. When the sadhaka, spiritual aspirant, comes, first thing usually he wants to control his food. So what food should I take? Will it be affecting my rajas, tamas, sattva? So many things they have put in his mind. And he is interested in an extremely gross physical level, where the inner subtler and causal level of being are working in a different way. By uppermost layer is the food annamaya, and by changing anything here, you will not be able to change the innermost. Now, the tree, suppose any amount of trimming the tree or cutting the branches or doing anything or decorating the tree from the top, it will not help the tree in any way. Just you have to water the bottom. If bottom is watered, the tree will flourish nicely. So the thing is, where we have to concentrate in the beginning. Here Sri Ramakrishna is telling, in my present state of mind, I can eat a little fish soup if it has been offered to the Divine Mother beforehand. I can't eat any meat, even if it is offered to the Divine Mother. But I can taste it with the end of my finger, lest you should get angry. Now, usually a stage will come when you can't take food, impure food. A stage will come in where you cannot take tamasic food, rajasic food. First itself, if we try to go for purification of food, our longing for God, our awareness of divine will fail. First thing you have to begin, where should we begin our sadhana is, I should not forget God. We go on telling, whatever happens, because the samskaras we have acquired, the tendencies we have acquired is so strong. The first thing we have to do is not to forget God, not to forget God. Slowly when we get a grip, why should we not forget God? Because inside is filled with world. As long as inside is filled, you will be constantly getting disturbed from within. The inner world has to be removed and thrown away so that inside divine dwells. Once inside divine dwells, everything becomes all right. You are at peace. You are moving towards absolute freedom. So this aspect, this part of our life, the first we begin with the sadhana, not by controlling food or not even pranayama. We begin with constant remembrance of God, constant remembrance of the divine, my own divine nature. Pranas are the external most layer is food, annamaya. Then the pranamaya, energy level. Most of the people think, first thing I have to do is to control the food. Food must be pure, mind cannot stay on the God. No, take the purest food, but mind cannot stay on the God or divine if it is filled with the world inside. First is we begin with the I should not forget God. Whatever happens, according to my past tendencies, inner drives and urges, I may do sometimes good, sometimes bad. We say it doesn't matter. Just drop your attention from those things. Pay attention to constant remembrance of God. Once you are attained constant remembrance of God, you are already finished. Half the way, half the journey is finished. Because your consciousness, your awareness, your inner every layer is covered with the divine awareness. So, this Ramakrishna is telling, you see, we restrict children or anybody to pluck the leaves and all. Don't do that, don't do that. It gets hurt. But the tendency will not to go. The moment we go enter into a garden, first thing is to pluck some leaves and throw down some flowers, some fruits. Now the thing is, it is my nature. I have to have Sri Ramakrishna says, now I cannot pluck a leaf of bilva to offer to God. Offering to God, I cannot, because he sees the life there. Till then, till we see life there specifically, we will be finding difficulty. Once we see life, everything, whether we should eat meat or not, do you see life there? If you are not seeing, you will pass through eating food, eating non-vegetarian as food. Once you start seeing life, then you restrict. So, as you grow towards sattva, you will be undergoing tremendous transformation from tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva. How do you go from rajas to tamas, tamas to rajas and rajas to sattva? He is holding on to the divine. Constant remembrance of God, constant remembrance of God. By that you slowly, everything changes. Inner transformation takes place, the whole thing is transformed. Well, can you explain the state of my mind? Once I was going from Burdwan to Kamarpukur in a bullock cart when a great storm arose. Some people gathered near the cart. My companion said they were robbers. So I began to repeat the name of God, clinging sometimes on Kali, sometimes on Rama, sometimes on Hanuman. What do you think of that? Was Master hinting that God is one, but he is addressed differently by different sects? Now, it is like the various aspects of God. Each time, mind is oscillating between the divine to divine. Divine to divine, because the power and effects are changing. Now, see the difference between Hanuman and Kali. Kali's aspect of protection is different from Hanuman's way of protection. Rama, Krishna, they are all, if you see their whole trend, they belong to different trends. Krishna, what would be his way of protecting you? Rama's way of protecting you, Kali's way of protecting you, or any action in the world, Hanuman's way. All these are different standards. It is like, what shall I go for? They are different aspects of the same reality, but variously knitted. Same fabric, variously knitted. Sometimes I feel this would help, that would help. And it is jumping from one fabric to another fabric. There is no, it is not difference in variety. It is different in grades, degrees. And when we move towards the Swarupa, it becomes one. When we move towards the Rupa, it becomes many. Now, same sweet meat with sugar, so many sweet meats are done. Different shapes of same sweet. Suppose I am doing a particular sweet, I can make it into balls, I can make it into square, I can make it into a rectangle, I can make into a sphere, small, anything, any shape I can give. Now, if you ask children, what shape do you, which you want to select, he will select one of the shapes. Content is same, shapes are different. Why does one like square, one likes round? It is individual taste. And what to Sri Ramakrishna, when he calls, what are the references? He just scanning as if how each one was saved during their lifetime. Oh Rama, you came as Rama and saved such person. You came as Krishna and saved such person. You came as Kali and served such person. And each time he is shifting, not with his own position and similar position in the history. When Yudhishthira is to take any decision regarding anything, he would immediately quote so many cases. Suppose the situation is there, he has to take a decision. Regarding that decision, he will be backing it with so many examples each time. He will tell, the same situation, he has done like this. Same situation, he has done like this. Same situation, he has done like that. Various, then I have to do this one. This is the day. Before he takes, he sees his own situation and how great ones have attended to. Similarly, Sri Ramakrishna is seeing his own situation now. They say, robbers have come, and how the divine has protected. What do you think? Was Master hinting that God is one, but is addressed differently by different sects? Master to Balram, Maya is nothing but woman and gold. A man living in its amidst gradually loses his spiritual alertness. He thinks all is well with him. The scavenger carries a tub of night soil on his head, and in course of time loses his repulsion to it. One gradually acquires love of God through the practice of chanting God's name and glories to Him. One should not be ashamed of chanting God's holy name. As the saying goes, one does not succeed so long as one has these three: shame, hatred, and fear. Lajja, Grina, Bhai. So here Sri Ramakrishna is again shifting. He is explaining his state of mind to make us understand certain subtle principles that are working in the nature and how divine manifestations are there. His own being is changing and attending to, call on anything, call on anything. In a particular state you may call this, in a same you may call this. In a particular state, one person may call this same situation, another person may call in another way. So difference is showing his own experience, and now he is coming back to Maya is nothing but woman and gold. From where he is jumping, you see. What is the link? Link is spirituality. He is explaining how God is participating in man's life and how man is approaching God. And this relationship between God and the devotee cannot be understood unless we raise our consciousness to this pure spirituality. Sri Ramakrishna is telling something. What is the relationship? How God participates in life and how a person approaches. I am calling on God in this way. How does the God approach? Now, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, I called on Rama, I called on Hanuman. Now, this secret of one appearing in many, one person in particular situation approaching same thing in different ways, different people approaching different ways, all these things, spiritual level, this cannot be understood unless we grow in spirituality. Spiritual sense if we don't have. Why do we not have spiritual sense? Maya is nothing but woman and gold. A man living in its amidst gradually loses spiritual awareness. When you are moving about in the world, there are varieties of people we come across. So each one is driven by his past experiences. He has past experiences. And past, not only experiences, how he has indulged in the world. What were the reactions? And repeated doing same thing, running after enjoyments or exercising powers or this and that. Repeatedly when a person does, he acquires that nature. And he cannot be but that. And each one behind is that vast actions and reactions, experiences. And each person differs from other in respect of the tendencies he has acquired and the karmic load he is carrying. So each will behave in an entirely different, his own way. But it doesn't suit me. I cannot do anything. Each one's nature is changing. Now, I have to stand in my own status and face that calmly, attend to all that without getting disturbed within. Within must be calm, gracious, loving, compassionate, guiding. All these qualities of why do we need this? Because I have to manifest my divinity. I have to destroy my animalhood. I have to destroy my humanhood. I have to manifest my inner divinity. I have to become divine. That's why I am exercising that self-control. Sanyama. Each time a person, he might be, or I may encounter anything in life. How do I react to it? I must be, in every respect, I must be saintly. How does it, suppose in your position when saint was there, how he would have balanced, how he would have changed the situation, how he would have trained a person, how he would have reacted to the nature of others, how he would have reacted to the situations of life. The same time I have to do. That is acquiring sainthood. Sainthood I have to simulate for a long time to spontaneously come, the sainthood would come out of me. To love others, to give whatever I have to others, and to see that others flourish than me. These are the saints' qualities. If anybody we see going a little ahead, we feel jealousy. Oh, how is that he is going ahead? I cannot struggle, I cannot go ahead of him. Maximum thing I can do is pull him back. That's what most of the people do, is to pull the other back. He will not go forward. I will be ahead. I will be able to fulfill my. So these things will not work long. I may succeed, but I have already been defeated. The moment I try to pull another person behind, I am defeated. Because I am accepting my defeat, that's why I am pulling him back. Otherwise, there was no need to pull the other person back at all. The sainthood is, you've gone so far. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Here is the way, here is the way. Take this help, take that help. Go ahead. So, any person going ahead is so happy. I saw when I was in Kamar Pukur, one teacher was tabla teacher. He is an ustad. Varieties of ways he can play. He used to teach. One student came up. All were competent students. One student came up. He would play marvelously better than his own guru. His hand movements and all, clarity was so nice and so perfect that Guru himself used to wonder. Yesterday, Sitar class, the master was telling the striking of the chikari, how spontaneously a person who is not trained is able to play. When I am practicing for last 50 years, I may not be able to play practicing. It is his nature, his quality, it's spontaneous for him, spontaneity. But I have to practice a lot and I may not get it in spite of practice. But he gets it. So like that, the teacher, the student was able to, I've seen that person or both of them. And each time the disciple would play, the Guru would feel so happy. Oh, he would praise him. Before, see, he has gone 4 steps ahead of me. I started teaching him. Now he has gone ahead of me. I will never be able to play like that. And how much of happiness, that is the quality of a saint. Real knower will always see that others go ahead. Go ahead. So this, so slowly we have to acquire that in every respect, in every field, we have to acquire that sainthood, to bear the sufferings, to bear the insults and give love and blessing in return, to help and serve. We immediately, how we react to things, reacting to things has become, we are accustomed to react to every impulse, external impulse. So, where does it break? With divine love, divine calling on God. Sri Ramakrishna is telling that the cycle, constant, unbroken cycle of reactions, I am reacting to everything that I see, I hear. Maximum I can do is to avoid, I can close my eyes. But when I open the eyes again, same thing. I have not changed. I am postponing my attainments by closing my eyes, that's all. One day or the other I have to face, overcome all my defects. So here Sri Ramakrishna is saying, Maya is nothing but woman and gold. Man is living in its abyss, slowly loses spiritual awareness, alertness. We are alert and responding to every call of nature. Anything happening to the world, in the world, I react to it. Anything happening in the spiritual world, I don't react. When I see a calendar of some person, I immediately I react to it. God's picture is there, I don't react. Somebody scolds me, I react. But Lord's grace, I don't react. The, I saw in one of the ashramas, I was staying above in one of the women ashramas, and people used to go and come. Inmates means ashramites. They used to come and go. There were 15, 20 brahmacharinis. Every person has to go in front of the shrine. For their one side is their residential quarters, another side is office and working field, including kitchen and dining hall is on this other side. Office and all things are on that side. Middle is the temple area. People come from that side, they attend and go away. Monastic quarters is on the other side. So for everything they have to walk. From morning till night they will be walking in front of the temple. Temple doors are open. On one side is Krishna's image, marble Krishna's image. On the other side is the Ramas, Ramakrishna, Sita. This side, Krishna and Radha. Fine marble statues. And every day prayer, satsanga and all happen in this hall. And each time the people moving about, all these brahmacharinis moving about, they don't have that awareness, God is sitting there. Every day they go and do the prayer, but God is sitting there, that awareness is not there in them. Only one girl who is to go, whenever she crosses that door, she lovingly looks at the two images, just bows down and goes. She alone is, out of that 15, 20 brahmacharinis, only one is responding to the God's presence there. Each time she goes, and each time, just a few seconds, she'll just stand and look at it, just bow down and start walking. Seconds. But each time she is aware, oh, Lord is sitting there, Lord is sitting there. How much of spiritual sensitivity, this is spiritual awareness, spiritual sensitivity, spiritual alertness which we miss. Same thing, one person is sitting there, one dog is there. Each time he goes and comes, he will do and go. One dog, simply. But not to God. We are fond of dogs, not gods. So, how we react? And this alertness to the world and alertness, we react to everything in the world. Actually, we must be indifferent to the world. And we don't react to the presence of God. But God is all-pervading, everywhere He is there. But there is no reaction or recognition of God. Let alone all-pervading. Even in temples where images, we ourselves worship. But we don't see the presence of God there. Slowly we develop that trend of recognizing God's presence, becoming spiritual alertness, possess spiritual alertness. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna is expecting us. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.